virus is now viral. A viral 1 million plus worldwide. And to celebrate, or rather to commiserate the numbers, let's talk about our top 10. Conspiracy. Things that don't seem to add up with the virus. This is the top 10 things that don't add up. Number 9. 2009, H1N1, the pig flu, big Obama administration shocker, right? We've had a pandemic before. It was called H1N1, the pig flu. Remember that? 2009. Now, this affected about 60 million Americans. In other words, 60 million Americans got the pig flu back then, the world pandemic. And H1N1, did they make you wear a mask? You just don't remember. No, they didn't. Did they quarantine you at home when there was more than 12,000 Americans dead because of H1N1? Did they quarantine you? Did they close down businesses? Did they close down grocery stores? No, they did not. The administration, the Obama administration at that point, all they said was, wash your hands thoroughly. That's it. The whole campaign, the whole pig flu was wash your hands. Worldwide epidemic, and they didn't close down one school, one restaurant, no air travel closed. There are certain things that just don't add up. Number 8. They've shut the whole infrastructure. Travel has been closed and banned. Okay, planes aren't traveling back and forth like they used to. Commute, commerce, imports, exports. The economy cannot sustain such a blow. Imagine you at home, me at home, everybody's at home except essential workers. Doesn't that sound like grabbing the economy and shaking it up and wanting it to explode? The economy cannot simply last the way that this is going. If we continue, the dollar will collapse. Things are not really the way they seem. Number 7. The words they're using. The words they're using are a little bit scary to me. They're saying desperate times call for desperate measures. I know we have to lock you down at home. I know you have to sit down and all you got to do is watch TV or the YouTube. I know no going to work, telecommute, etc., etc. Well, you know what? Those are the same words of the tyrants that over the periods of history we've heard repeatedly over and over again. This has to be done in order for that to be done. We have to use extreme measures because the times call for it. These words are tyrannical words that echo and frighten as we face a viral virus. Number 6. They are taking away our amendment rights. First Amendment, freedom of speech. I can't say anything anymore to anyone. Freedom of religion. I can't go to church anymore. Freedom to assemble. I can't get together with a group of people anymore, anywhere. Freedom. Freedom is being taken away. And will they give it back? Because all I know is what I've heard from history, that once you give, you don't get back. Oh. Because we are afraid, and they make us so afraid so quickly that we say, here, yeah, it's okay, I won't go to church. Well, you know what? Isn't there the communist states that have their own state religion? What's it called? It's called atheism. In other words, no God, no religion, our religion. You worship the tyrant ruler, the almighty powerful ruler that rules everything from west to east, all across the world. Doesn't that sound like New World Order to you? Number 5. People are starting to be irrational. People are starting to be cooped up in their houses. They can't go anywhere. What do? Where do we go? We want to get out of here. I'm sick of being tied up and in a place that I don't... These walls are getting thick around me and I'm getting paranoid. I can't touch anything. What about the money I'm handling? They're creating a mass hysteria. For what purpose? Number 4. Places like Vermont are already closing the walls in tighter around you. They've roped up sections in Walmart and Target. Every retail store is doing this, tying up sections so that you cannot shop for anything other than food and medical supplies. Food and medical supplies. So if I'm sleeping uneasy and my pillow is needing to be a new pillow, I can't buy a new pillow. I can't buy clothes. I can't buy anything. Now, if you know that it's starting in one place, how fast is that going to spread to the rest of the country? We're all on lockdown. Number 3. They are starting to ration dairy products. You go into the store and you can only get three dairy products off the shelf and into your bag. They're starting to ration the amount of rice, the amount of wheat, the amount of items that you can pick up. That is incredible. What happens when they tell me I can't buy anymore? What happens when they say, well, of course it makes sense. The truckers aren't trucking anymore. The truckers are saying we don't want to catch this. We don't want to have this pandemic. So they're not shipping the items that we need. Number 2. You can't go out on a walk. I'm going on a walk. Hey, you can't go to the beach. You can't go to public parks. You can't assemble. And if you do, well, we're first going to tell you about it. We're going to educate you. And then the arrests are going to start to happen. You know what? The arrests have started to happen already. They've started arresting people for not being on isolation therapy, not staying at home. They've started to arrest you and take you to jail for it. Number 10. Another thing that shocks me, the jails are empty. They've let out the prisoners. Anybody that's not a homicidal maniac or a rapist gets to go out the door. So places all over the country have opened up their prisons, let the prisoners out, and emptied the cells. For who? For what? Prisoners roaming the street. I've read news stories about prisoners coming in and taking your stuff, beating people up, etc., desecrating parks. Why? Well, they're criminals and you're letting them out. But why? Compliance. When any form or faction or evil wants to take over, they will arrest you and put you away if you don't comply. Well, they've started arresting people for not complying to the sit-at-home order, for the lockdown order, for the stay-at-home order that your governors and governments are giving you. They've started arresting people in those empty jail cells. The measures need to be what they are because desperation calls for desperate means. Number 1. In the Philippines, the president there has told the police that they can shoot people not complying to the stay-at-home order. Shoot people. And the mayor of LA hasn't done something quite as radical by telling that now we need some informants. Inform your government if you see somebody not complying with the stay-at-home order. Is this the end of the world? Is it that we've all been naughty?